uglier than a brown eye. Shoot! Hey there, YouTubies! Check it out. This week, we get the Jap-Rod's air system ready to rock. She's holding air. And we also do some other stuff, so stay tuned. Check out what we did. New weekend. We're starting off good, hopefully. The fittings that we were missing last week, they are here. So here we are. Check it out. I've already even put them in there just to say, sure, they work. But as I was doing that, I realized when you twist this one, it loosens the other one.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to completely take off a compressor and spin it around. We also got us the right check valve and the bits like these ones to go in there like so for the 1/2-inch line, air line. Yeah. Then this little T is for like a little, I don't know what it is, but off one of these it tees off and then goes to this little guy down here. That's per the diagram. I think in this baggie, I think this is the air dryer fitting, and yep, timer bag. This is diagram I'm going off of, which you really can't see much of anything, but check valve. Hey, there's that little T thing I was talking about, and then to the small one to the big one. My guess is this one, because it looks, you know, it says pressure regulator. I would assume this is the pressure regulator. So I'd assume this is the one we're gonna be going off of. Sure. And then we'll just send a little 1/4-inch line and tee off to there. It'll make its spot. And then I believe the other one will come up to here to our compressors to be fed. Shouldn't be too hard to plumb. I'm more worried about this thing because, man, the timer, I don't even know, but I'm sure I can read it, and if not, there's a phone number that I can call and say, what am I doing? Because the directions are pretty vague. It doesn't say anything about wiring. I can see there's little lines. They go from the pressure switch to the timer. And then I don't know if that's a solenoid relay or whatever. I don't even know what that is. So we're learning and we're doing at the same time. So I guess we might as well start with the plumbing, because the plumbing should be easier mentally, and to get the juices flowing once we're going, we should be good. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my goop, my thread sealant, and I'm gonna seal up as many pieces on these T's and fittings that I can, like the check valve, those T's, this T, and we should be completely gooped up and sealed, hopefully. So maybe by Saturday or Sunday, tomorrow or the next day is what I'm saying, we'll be able to put some air to it. This is the stuff I'm using. I didn't show it last video. Felt like a dummy when I was editing. So here it is. It's just, you know, thread sealant of the high performances, because dual compressors. All right. I lied immediately, but I found out soon. So I finally put the wrenches. I went to tighten this one, and then I was like, I gotta tighten this one, and it swiveled. So we're good. What I was talking about, when I tighten one, it loosens the other one. It's gonna be just fine because these swivel and they're tight. What, you know, I never said I was completely smart. Took some time, wasn't really fun. Somehow I didn't press the button on the time lapse, so I didn't get any video. But anyway, here's what's happening. So got where do we start? Compressors, because that's where the air is gonna start being made. We got it into our T. Yep, it worked real nice because the swivels. Yep. Then into the T, we swoop around here into the air dryer down there. Then we come out of the air dryer into this T. I don't even know really what this little guy is. Maybe it's the purge line. I don't know. But I did it per the diagram, because you can see the little T and the little guy right there. Sure. So we did that. And then I went around and gave us some nice curvature right into the tank. Sneaks up from down here. Goes right in there. Really good. Then I also ran us a line from the other end of the tank down, swooped it around into the block right there. So now we are like 90% done. Well, I guess we'll call it 80 because I want to replumb the airlines all the way to the front airbags. And they're up here, they're back here, but the lines, they're rough. They've seen rough days, is what I'm saying. They've been drug on the ground, they've been hit with wire wheels and heat, burnt on the exhaust probably once or twice. So I'd like to get those freshly clean. I also bought some clamps to hold them up very nicely, so that'll help us out. New day. We had a Cars and Coffee to attend that a friend of mine has started up. So, you know, you gotta support a guy. Help that one grow too. And I got a birthday party for a little one in the neighborhood later on, so I don't have very much time today. But I figured I might have a small enough task that I could wrap my mind around and not get balls deep in a project where I don't end up going to the birthday party. You know what I mean? So I said I'm gonna come up here, and I've been fighting this fuse block. I just don't know what the hell to do with it. So I was looking at it, and originally I wanted to build some brackets to make it sit here. But as I'm looking, if I put an air cleaner on there, well, it's gonna be in the way. So I put my brainstorming pants on. Had to start thinking harder. And I said, well, there's a hole. Can I do something with this hole to make this fit? This wasn't working, so I said, well, you know what? Maybe I do it this way. And man, I was like, that's actually pretty good. Then this bracket is actually the bracket that mounts in here, holds this fuse block to the civvy, or holds wires to it. Well, and there's a perfect hole here. There's a perfect hole there. So what I'm thinking is if I screw that here, let it dangle that way, that should allow this thing to sit this way. Just out of the way, not interfering with anything. Doesn't make it look more confusing. We should still be able to fit an air cleaner for days. Man, we'll have to figure out our routing for our brake air booster, brake booster, you know, but that's fine. Just a longer tube and reroute it around. So I think I found the solution. So nothing to it but to do it. Put this bracket in here. Go get a ratchet, tighten her down. Might have to put a self tapper in it too to help hold it up. Yeah, we'll do that too. Why not? Bam! One bolt, one self tappy. Sure. Now, the question is, will it fit the way we want it? Hopefully, because we don't have much room for anything else. It's perfect. Look at it. Man, it's pretty solid. I got us a zip tie around the bracket to help hold us in. I also take the little wings off of the zip ties and I folded them in half and just said, you know what? I'll shove them in the back of that clip there and there to help hold those clips to make sure it doesn't pull off. And man, look at it. Pretty solid. I'm not mad. I'm sold is what I am. Our wires in the back look happy as can be. They're not dangling on hot stuff back there from what I can see yet. We'll do some fine tuning. But for now, the fuse block has a beautiful home. And check this out. We got the cover. Damn, look at that beautifulness. Look at that. Is that not clean as shit or what? That's a huge step forward. You know, I believe this is all headlight shit. Horns, everything for the power to the front of the car, right? So I think I need to start thinking about that stuff too. Because I do need headlights and turn signals and all that goodies to be able to be road legal. So might as well figure out how I'm gonna get them there to here cleanly. We got a little man practicing his wrenching. He wants to help so much that I just had to give him a wrench. Said, here dude, practice on the battery tie down. He was doing good till I pulled the camera out. Got all nervous. Hold on, buddy. Remember, you gotta get them lined up. And then pull it. There you go. You got it. Yep. Now you can push too. And push. Oh. Yeah, you go both ways. And eat. Alright. So I'm looking at our electrical over yonder. This one's obviously a horn because the horn's on it. Yeah. There's a light bulb. Not sure exactly where it goes, what it would have been to. Don't know. There's some grounds. This would have been probably airbag stuff. We don't need that where we're going. We got our own kind of airbags. This, I believe, is all our headlight stuff. Our normals and our brights. And then I don't even know what any of this junk goes to because I didn't label it. Probably don't need it. We could probably snip it, but not yet. We got a new day. Like I said, I wasn't gonna get much done yesterday because I had a lot of other obligations, but today is a new day. It's a little later than usual. Well, because I had a weird vibration on the Civi at 25 miles an hour, about 45 miles an hour, and at about 75 to 80 miles an hour. It's very faint, but it is progressively getting worse. So I thought it was a wheel bearing. Took the wheels off this morning, and man, they are solid. It's not the wheel bearing. But I do think it's one of my brand new axles. I put 2 brand new CV axles on there a while back. I'd like to say less than 5,000 miles. Maybe tops 8,000 miles. Okay? And one of them's got a little wiggle room in it, is what I'm saying. I'm like, I drive it, but I don't drive it that hard. So, whatever. Must be just cheap parts. Came in the garage this morning. Man, I looked at that fuse block. It looks so good. Man, I like it. I like it so much. Turned out better than I planned it to. And I really like when stuff like that happens. Yeah. Came out, we got some ramps on the back, we got some jack stands under the front. Well, because it's time to rerun these airlines to the front. Got them dangling here. we're probably just gonna snip it there. We're gonna leave as much access on the baggy side. So we're gonna cut them like back here behind the pipe. And then we'll get them where we want them. But we'll leave as much room there. We'll eliminate all this because it's been drug around. We'll rerun new into here. Right into our blocky. We'll be solid. Be set to go. And then the last thing on that is the timer. And I just don't exactly know how to wire this in. I've got a couple ideas. I'm pretty sure this is the relay. So we'll run the power from the relay to the timer, from the timer to the pressure switch. But the picture's a little unclear, you know, there's lines. You know, there's I don't know. Maybe the pressure switch, I don't know. It's hard to read. So I might have to call this number and get a new diagram for this thing. But I am gonna try it and see if I could get it to work without calling them, because it's Sunday and I guarantee you they're probably not open. So let's get to work. Let's get some new airlines in there. The cutter. Oh, go back here. Sure. How about there? That'll work. Man, look at that cut. Even not looking, it's pretty darn straight. It's a little off. It's pretty good. Now I wonder if I could just, oh yeah, yep, look at that. Pull it from up there. Oh, there was more in the car than there was running it. Holy cow. Out with the old. Nice knowing you. We'll grab our new roll. This stuff. We'll pull off some length. And we'll probably feed it down the car and around to try and keep it off the ground as much. Keep as many scrapes and scratches off of it. We got the lines ran. And I didn't get much video because it's so tight under there, there's not a good place for the camera. And there were a lot of dad words involved. A lot of letters of the alphabet. So, here's what happened. The line, the new one's up here. We got a nice clamp right there. It's holding it right in between the two exhaust pipes so it shouldn't get warm. If you look yonder, we got a clamp right here. And that's both sides. This is my body mount for the car that I made. So I put a strap on each one of those. And then I've got a strap all the way back here on my body mount back here. You can see the line poking through. I got a strap on the other side of this. And it pokes through. We got fresh line in here, ready for some goodness. Both sides. Got those two to plug in. I don't know if you could see. You can see the line from the body mount. Got a zip tie there and a zip tie there. You see the clamp on the body mount and it goes up into the body. Now we come back in here. I'm holding off to put this line in because, well, there's a hole and I'd like to put a grommet so that metal doesn't wear through my line, both sides, so I really don't want to put those on yet. And I don't have any rubber grommets, so I gotta go run and grab some. But it's perfect timing because it's lunchtime, so take a lunch, warm snack, get my mind refreshing. We'll plug in those lines after some grommets and then start thinking about the timer. Sure. Came back. Got bad news. Well, apparently the way you measure rubber grommets is not the way I did it. So I measured our hole, and it's 1 1/8. Well, this is 1 1/8 grommet. Well, they measure outside to outside, not the lip. So my rubber grommet, it falls through. So I was like, you know what? No big deal. I'll work around it because I'm not going anywhere again. So I grabbed some of that 1/4-inch tube, smaller stuff, and I was like, I'll slice it in half and I'll put it around the hole. Well, I did, and it is just uglier than a brown eye. No, don't like it. I'm not sticking with it. So I'm gonna order me a big pack, a variety of sizes of rubber grommets. Man, bummer. So the tubes are not getting hooked up right now. Well, I mean, I could, but then I gotta cut the rubber grommets to get them in, or take the airlines out and potentially make a leak. So I'm just gonna hold off. You know, I was thinking I might as well not even mess with the timer until I actually get the confirmed wiring diagram. So I'm kind of at a standstill. And it's Sunday, 4:30. The good part is I'm like a week ahead on my videos, only because I missed a week and I had the video, but I didn't get it out because of, you know, other things that had happened. So I could still get this video out in one video with this working. It's just gonna take a little longer. I'm gonna have to wait for some parts and some questions answered. But we are, man, this stinking close to getting this thing on airbaggies. Been a little longer my time than I planned. See, I got some other projects going on in here. Poor little Sevy. Man, I need to clean that window. I lost a wheel bearing on it, and man, it has been hell trying to figure out getting a bearing. And then I threw away snap rings, and then I had to order snap rings. So I'm still waiting on parts, but it's a whole nother weekend. And the good part is I got some grommets for our airlines. So I got them here, and they were in the electrical aisle. I was searching the other aisles, and the dude at O'Reilly, I said, I just need a rubber grommet about this size, and he's like, oh, we should have one on the shelf over here. It came in a package of 2. There's only one in here because I had to test fit it when I came home, and man, do I like the way it looks. Let me show you. Come on to the inside. Look at this bad boy. You know, it is so much better. Dang, look at that. Yep, it's perfect. This one was in the electrical aisle. So if you need a rubber grommet, can't find one, check all the aisles. They might have ones for different situations. I really like these ones because they're solid. They're cut to your own size. And I just pushed it through, so it keeps a nice snug fit. Man, that's awesome. Sure. So this is all I did. So I took my rubber grommet. There's a tiny little hole in the middle there, but not a big one. Just enough to, you know, make its way. It'll make its way. This one didn't go as nicely as the other one, but that's fine. It's still gonna hold it. Then down yonder way, it literally fell in the hole. Nice and snug. Yep. I like it. Oh yeah, I got a helper. Little man again. So now that we have our grommets, our airlines, and then once we have our airlines, I gotta figure out this timer. And let me tell you, okay, so I ordered the whole airbag kit as a kit, and all in one. Paid a little extra money to make it easy on myself. Well, it's been a year or two, okay? And well, since company has said shut down, so getting a hold of them, trying to get the paperwork, has been hard. Still haven't done it yet, so I'm still trying to figure that out. I think I'm just gonna wing it because I do got some knowledge. I'm just gonna have to use my head more. I'm just gonna have to think about where it goes, how it's supposed to be wired, the way I want to do it. Quick and simple, like the lines are in. They're a little more floppy, but hopefully with some heat and some string or something, we can get it to stay back. I might cut them shorter. They are kind of tall, but I do like the extra length for service problems. I just don't like the way these ones are touching and looking weird. But for now, it'll at least work to make sure that it's working and to make sure all my fittings don't need replaced. So I'm not cutting shit short yet. Next thing I gotta do is start thinking about this timer, and that's gonna work my brain a little. Alright, well, I've done worked my brain, and I worked it hard. It's been maybe 2 hours, maybe more. And I've learned a little bit. So what I have learned is this air dryer setup is for like a semi-truck air brake system. Didn't know that. Smart thinking. The airbag guys that I bought it off of, using it, you know, to keep the system pretty clean. Because semi-trucks, dang, they're using air constantly. They're constantly on the road. So I like their thinking, but I also don't like their thinking. But let me tell you why. So the kit came with a pressure switch that was like 70 psi to 110 psi. So it like, this one is a 200 psi and a 170 psi. So it turns on when it's at 170 and shuts off when it hits 200 psi. I upgraded that because I wanted more pressures. And upon my research, this style air dryer, maybe not all of them, but the majority of them, their max pressure is at about 140 psi. And well, let me tell you, that's not good for us in our situation if we're running a 200 psi shut off switch. Right? So, I got bad news and good news. The good news is we no longer need that timer. That's it's out of here. The bad news is I gotta take this apart and rework it. But that's not also completely terrible because I kind of don't like how it's looking. Now when I did order this setup, I was confused why they just didn't send a normal little water trap for the water catcher. So I'm gonna change the whole system over to one of those. I've already ordered one, got one on the way. It's rated for 225 psi, so we're just gonna put a normal water trap on here. We're still gonna run the 2 compressors into the thing, so we should be fine. We should be just fine, right? Yeah. Good thing too, getting rid of this big old bulky thing. The water trap, man, is probably about as big as the air compressor, I'd like to think. So we should gain a little room to wiggle over here and mess with, which we're gonna need because I'd like to put a fuel pressure regulator in this corner somewhere too. So I was kind of getting nervous when all this airline was getting in my way. So I feel good that I can delete. See, this is exactly why I left these long. It's because the situation may change. And I don't want to mess with these fittings a lot because they're kind of expensive. And I don't want to replace them all the time. So, yeah. Might as well just take her apart, right? Dang. We'll just start right here. This is a good one. Yep. We don't need that anymore. Goodbye. 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 Cool. So now we can take this one out of here. Now our compressor line, this can all go because I don't think we'll need this little T situation with our water trap. I did also learn that this little wire clip here also, it's not like a little turn on or off or switch or nothing like that. It's simply just a little heater. So it's kind of like a glow plug in a diesel engine kind of situation. It's just heats things. Sure. Awesome. This already feels better getting all this out of the way. Haha. Just like that. It's out. Now there is no name on this thing anywhere. There's no pressure. Nothing. There's not information on here. Well, you know, that says something. But I'm more talking about this piece because, you know, I don't want to risk making a mess, blowing stuff up and shrapnel everywhere in here. So we'll play the safe route, and it won't be hard. We can still use this bracket to build a bracket taller, or to this wall back here too. We could just cut some more plastic. But this is so sturdy that I bet you we could just build a little plate and make it taller. And then, man, our airlines will just do some swoop-de-doopties and look way cleaner than it was before. Bam. Could go right in right there, and then you could do a little loop-de over here and then go right in over here or something. I don't know. We'll figure that out. Or we could just put a little 90 and go straight there. And then let this one, you know, do a little swoop-de there or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We need to part before we can do anything. Another cool thing we can do temporarily is I can take this line out and I can put this line in, and we can at least test everything else out. Put in air in the tanks. We could test our pressure switch, all them goodies, and move forward is what I'm saying. So we can at least test on it. It won't be too hard to reroute when we do got our air dryer. It was that simple to reroute and get rid of that thing. It's already done. It just simples. That's what I'm saying. Sure. I do have some electrical up there to get to, and we got to get some gauges. So let's put the seat, let's just set it in there and think about some gauges. Sure. Got the seat in. Man, this car instantly gets cooler when you can sit in it. And decisions have been changed, but I think it's for the better. So you remember how I was saying, I think 2 videos back, might have been 3, but it's been a couple videos back, that the pressure gauges, they weren't gonna fit because of the stick and they were gonna rub. Well, the seat's in here and there is no room right here to put these gauges. So I put them there where I originally planned. Man, and it is, we're talking close on 1st, 3rd, and 5th. You might ding it if you're really jamming her, but I think it'll work. And the airlines, if I get the right clamps, we could get them to swoop down out of the way and not be messed with. Oh, my light. Man, my light's dying. Scared the crap out of me. But anywho, I got one hole. This is our main switch. That's where I'm gonna put that one. Main switch for the compressors, so we could be quiet when we want to be. Then these got little light bulbs, so I'm gonna put them on their own little switch. And that's gonna be this little switch. Yep. Be simple. Well, then we should still have room for cup holders, hopefully. I'm liking it. I kind of like this ended up where I wanted it to begin. So I like it. Yep. It's getting sent. I'll make sure our hoses are routed out of the way. Man, how come every time I say that about the hoses? Is that light haunted? So I did a back and forth these a couple times and I confirmed at least the rights and lefts. I'm gonna have to do it a couple more times to be able to figure out front and back. But I realized they don't have the gauges labeled. So I got my little blowgun. And I'm gonna blow up the fitting and I'm gonna see which one moves. Ah! It's working. Okay, so this one on this side we know is the front needle, the green one. So the way I want to put that one is I want that one on the rear bag. That one, mostly because the 2 needles, one here, one there, they're stacked on top of each other. It's just like the orange one would be equivalent to that front one and the green one would be equivalent to the back one. Just mentally it would be nice to do it that way. So we want the green one to be the rear baggie. So I'm gonna grab my cool light. Alright, so what am I thinking? We want passenger side, so that's the right side. We want the rear. So we're gonna take and follow this one straight through around town here. Which one is this one? Red. Red's the rear. So now knowing that the red is the rear one, we're gonna do that one second because, well, it'd be easier to get to. So we'll do the orange one first. And I'm just gonna route them pretty close and then like put a little swoop-de-woo because the line's pretty malleable. And I got some clamps that'll hold it up out of the way. Hopefully. You know what I mean? Hopes and dreams here. Here we are. This is how it's gone. Started here. Got that one in, put a clamp on it. Man, routed these real nice and tight like. Got the maximum bend out of them. Yup. It looks good. Sure. Just got to do the other side. And then I'm gonna call it a night. New day, a little later in the afternoon than usual. I took Slug the Bug to a car show. Got me a cool new shirt. Yep. Came home and immediately brought the battery out to the Jap-Rod and plugged it in. Not all the way. And mostly because I was curious about where I got my power from. So I got my meter out and confirmed my voltage over there. Came over yonder way and I put my little testy woos in this fuse before it was a fuse without the key on, because I was wondering if it was keyed ignition or not. Big fail. It's not solid power, constant power, I mean. So not the biggest deal, right? Come back yonder way. Well, let's just flip the switch is what I'm saying. Since we don't need a key, all we do is yeah, something is rattling. Oh, I bet you it's these bolts. Man, them pumps are loud. Well, we're gonna have several minutes of waiting these to fill up because the tank is empty. Everything's empty, so it's gonna take a bit longer than usual to pump everything up. But the cool thing is I'm not hearing leaks out of any of this. Fuel pump's working. Sucked up quite a bit of fuel. We're winning. Not exactly as planned, but we're still winning. Sure. Well, we got some air in there. I wonder if we hit the switch, if it'll do anything. It's another test we gotta do anyhow. What do you think, the back? Nothing yet. We don't have near enough pressure. So I guess I'm just gonna sit here and wait, watch everything, make sure we don't get sparkies or fire or the magic smoke. Yep. So if nothing happens, I'll see you here in just a second. Well, I'll see you if something happens too. It'll just be a lot more exciting, hopefully. Our pressure switch is working. We just shut down. I gave her one break in the middle. It wasn't long though. The pumps, man, they are warm, but they are not that warm. So, man, awesome. So you know the next step is to push the buttons and see if it goes up and down, right? Yeah. What do we got? Oh, shoot. fronts were hooked up. One step shy. Totally spaced it. Totally forgot to hook up the fronts. So we're just blasting air out of there. Pressure switch turned back on. We lifted the rears, no problem. And we had 40 or 50 pounds. It was at 40 and then I hit the button some, so I don't know if it went to 50 or 60, and it was holding. I didn't hear no massive leaks. Now we'll have to get our bubble soapy spray out and spray all our fittings and double check, but there's no super obvious, hey, I'm leaking, minus the front tubes that I didn't put together up here, but that's super easy. It's just a coupling and some zip ties to set it where we want it, and the front will be lifting. So man, we finally got the airbags. It's been whooping my butt. We will have to do some changing. We got to add our water catcher. Pressure switch still working. Nice. I do like our main shut-off switch, especially since it's on constant 12 volt. I don't think I'm gonna change it. I might just leave it because it's put together. Mostly because I don't want to have to chase down power for it. But I don't think we need a rear wiper because it's not gonna be driven in the rain. And you're not gonna be wiping smoke off the back window because that's gonna be rolling away anyway. So I could just steal that power. We'll think about that. But I'm happy, I'm pleased. I'm winning. I just gotta find me a spray bottle, get some soapy water in it. Haha! Quick and simple. She's aired up. She looks pretty cool with the extra rake for the ramps. I quickly just did some loopies. I left a lot of extra because, well, they're probably gonna need some service, right? They're called a service loop. Left it there. Put a lot of zippy ties. I need to come back, cut all the wings off, but I need to make sure, check that coupling for leaks. I put clamps a couple inches to make sure it stays where I want it. Both sides match almost exactly the same as much as possible. Yeah. But we're holding, even with my weight. Man. Front's up. And the back is way up. She up there. We got about 60 in the back, about 150 in the front. Oh man, this is exciting. There's a little rattle back here I don't like. I'm gonna have to find that. But my tank is also not bolted in, so it could just be the bolts rattling in the holes. So far, it's a win. Yes. One thing I thought while these suckers were running was, man, that the factory Honda main fuse is working great. And I figured I might as well put the key in it while they're running. See if we pop a fuse. Now, we're fine. We're fine. Fuel pump's running. Shoot, the stereo is turning on. Shoot. We're set. We are set. We just gotta check for leaks. We do a leak check. Let this sucker sit up all night too, because we won't be able to check where the fittings go into the baggies, because we won't be able to soak them because they're down in there. So that'll be how we check those ones. But for now, we're good. And I think I need to go find me a soapy spray bottle. Man, got a new day. Bummer is our air pressure's dropped a little. Both the rears dropped about 20 pounds. We were at about 60, came down about 40. The front driver's side, front left, dropped about 5 pounds. It was right above 140, 150, and then it was right below this morning. But this passenger side was way low. Yeah, she was at only 80 pounds. So I got my soapy water bottle right yonder way, and I started spraying stuff down. My first thought was it was this coupling. No bubbles. Checked it 2 times. So I was like, I'll come in here, start working my magic. And holy cow, wouldn't you know it, look at the bubbles. Think I found our leak. Also, see this one. So I gotta tighten this one just a little bit more too. I did forget to get all our gauges back there. Our gauge lines. So we'll just soap them up real quick. I need to wipe that off because I don't know if that could get that wet. With having every fitting checked except for the baggies, you can't complain with only having 2 leaks. Okay, so maybe 3, because I do think both the rear baggies, the fittings going into the bags might leak, because the couplings don't. These right out of the block aren't leaking. So the only other spot for those rears are the fittings into the baggies. And can't really get them in there. And let's face it, dropping only 20 pounds or so overnight isn't that bad. So it's gonna get left until those airbags have to come out. This one's an easy fix. It's a little less easy because it's the one in the middle, but I think a wrench will still wrench it out. It's just gonna take some time and a couple dad words. This one's even easier because it just needs tightened. So I think we're doing really good. That's what I'm saying. Might need to start thinking about shocks soon. But airbags, they work. Oh, scared me. Oh yeah, it works good. Damn, that front drops quick. Make sure we tighten that so that don't come shooting out one day. I like it. Alright, I got my cutters. I pulled this line out. I did several snips because I just couldn't get them right. They were just not good like this one is. Stuffed it back in there. I put some bubble juice on there. So far, it's holding. We're gonna wait a little more time because no matter what, there's a leak, it's just gonna make a bubble mess. So I'm gonna let it sit for a minute. We also have the gauges to look at. We're right at 150 on both of them. So time will tell now. And then I just got to get a wrench out for this other one. That one's not even interesting really to do. It's just tighten it. Which I never used these fittings, so I didn't know how to use them. Do I set them all the way down to where they stop turning, and is that tight, or you know, or do I leave them a little loose? You know, I was worried if you tightened them all the way, it would like pinch the line off, and then the line will blow out or something. I don't know. But on the back ones, I tightened them all the way, and we're not leaking one bit. And that one I left loose, so we're just gonna tighten it down. Pray to cow that it don't bust loose. But so far, everything else is good. I'm happy with it. Okay, I added a little air in the back, so we still are reading the same in the fronts. We got some pressure in the back now. So while we wait and check for leaks, we might as well come back here because there's a slight issue that I need to take care of. Okay, so these are the body mounts that I made. And these are the bolts for the Honda that bolt in the control arms or trailing arms or whatever the heck it's called back here. I think it's called the trailing arm. So we're using a factory bolt here, but we have a little extra space. I can fit my finger in there. So I'm simply just gonna make a sleeve, a washer, a thick one, to make up that space. And I've got the perfect stuff to use right here. Some of this. Yep, it's some steel pipe by the 1/2 inch. You know, simply because the bolt fits right inside. It's like the perfect diameter. The head will hold it. I was down there earlier and I used my tapey measure and I measured how long we need. And we got plenty of rooms for threads. So I'm gonna make them at a 1/2 inch, and I need 4 of them. We're gonna make 4 1/2 inch pieces. Simply put our washers on, homemade washers, bolt it down, and the rear of the body will have complete body mounts. And that's pretty important if you want to be able to get this sucker out and about at the car show that I want to take it to in the next couple weekends. So we gotta hurry. That's what I'm saying. Sliced us up 4 pieces, man. They're perfect. Yeah, they're not perfect, but they're close enough. They're gonna work for what we need. They're gonna hold, and if they don't, we're gonna find out about it. Tell you that much. So let's grab our pieces. Grab a socket, and let's go lay on the ground. We're down here now. Here's the first one. I don't really like that amount of thread. How much? Shoot. Might have to shave them down some. Can I tighten this one down at all? Maybe should have did this before I tried. Yeah, I can, like a ton. Oh no. Well, I cranked it down. Holy cow, we might just need a couple washers. I don't know what I was thinking. What? What? I don't know what I was thinking, but I swore I had to make these. I guess I'll just put some washers. Maybe I can even just put a lock washer on there, because that's gonna be a thicker washer style. Shoot! Ran to the hardware store, got us some washers. I got some thick ones and some regular ones. Well, the thick ones mostly for the thickness, and they didn't have quite what we needed, so I got these just in case, which I'm glad I did. When I got to the parts store, I realized I didn't have the bolt. Came back and I've searched everywhere and I lost it. So now this one I need to take back to the hardware store and get a match. So, bummer, but we'll make it happen. Well, with losing a bolt, I could only do 2 bolts out of the 4 because I need to take one with me to the part store. But this is what we're looking like. Our washers, open one. Same thing on this side. Washers, bolt, open one on that side. I also need to find a nut so we're not using lug nuts to hold the body mount on, so I have to take one of those with me. Has been a few hours and well, both rears have dropped almost equally amounts. Looks like the driver front has dropped a little bit. Not too bad. Still indicates there's a leak somewhere, but I would like to say that's on the bag itself because I used thread tape instead of thread sealant, and my buddy told me not to do the tape. Well, I did it anyway, and it's probably biting me in the butt cheek right now, so you know, I'm not mad at it. It's still a really slow leak. You could drive the car on it. You know, you could probably still do a road trip on the car and not lose that many pounds over a couple hours. So for now, it's fine. I'm sure the front end will come apart at some point. I'm sure the rears will have to come out at some point, and when they do, we'll just put some goop on it and fix that quickly. Easy solution. So the airbags, we can say, are mostly complete. I did run to the parts store, the hardware store, and when I came back, we had goodies show up. Let me show you. Right in here. Look at what we have. Woo! An air dryer. I mean, water catcher thingamajig. Yep. It's even got a little drainy drain. Bloop, bloop. Cool thing is you can put a little hose on there. And then we could just poke it through the floor. And just let it drain right through the floor. So here's our goal. Same spot as we were before. Somewhere in this range is where we want it. In this area for sure. We just have to figure out how to make a new mounting bracket, which shouldn't be too hard. This came with a bracket to mount to, so that makes it a little easier. We just got to figure out how we want to do that. This way would probably be better. I wonder if we could just bolt that to that. Still have enough room. Shoot, we could just weld it if we wanted to. Let's see here. It wouldn't be bad. It would be a pain in the butt to change. So yeah, we'll lift it up. Won't be too bad. Quick hardware store run once again. Came back. I got some bolts. I also got some replacements to our lug nuts. I went with the nylocks because why not? So let's get our new goodies and let's go have some fun. Got both bolts in the top. We got our new nut on the bottom. I'd like to say the rear mounts, they're good. Both sides. With those rear body mounts in, I'm coming to a good stopping point. We done got air holding the suspension up this week, and we started body mounts, and we did a bunch of other random stuff. Hope it was enjoyable for you guys to watch. So you gotta subscribe to be able to see us do the front body mounts or finish them up, get them solid to the body. Like, comment, subscribe, please. Tell a friend. Thanks for watching. Check out another video. Thank you.